Enter dramatic startup music. Okay, we are back in the garage again. Today, hopefully, is the day that we start the red car. We're going to do the minimal stuff to get it running, which is going to be connecting a handful of wires, putting the nuts on the valve cover so it doesn't puke oil everywhere, and I think that's about it. So, well, there's no better time than the present. Let us get started. All you got to do is turn the ignition on.
Yeah, it's already on.
Fuel pump on.
There you go.
Oh, that was faster than I thought it was going to be. Okay, turn fuel pump on.
Hey, the oil pressure was 50 pounds.
Oh, it was?
48.7.
Good. It got oil pressure fast because I had primed it prior to.
Well, it actually fired off just for a minute.
Yeah, so that means everything works,
Yeah.
at the very least.
I didn't hear nothing going.
No. No fluids on the floor. Let me idle it up first.
That actually sounds decent though, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. It sounds really good. It sounds way more radical than mine does.
Yeah.
Turn it off. All right, now that this thing is, I guess it's officially running now, we can proceed to doing all the little odds and end things that need to be done. Now the wiring can be put in its place permanently. Typically, I don't permanently run certain wires and things in projects like this until I'm sure everything works, especially considering that we used a complete race wire harness for this car, and it's way, I don't know, I guess I'm not a fan of it. It's way too, Holley is way too integrated into the race wire harness for my taste. I'd rather do it like Bob has done, for example, using a PMU or a power management unit. But anyways, I digress. So we got to do, let's go turn around here and see. So the wiring that you see laying down here in the floor has to be finished up. We got to run those power and ground wires for the water pump. And a couple of odds and ends over there underneath the column. And from there we can stick a fork in it because it's done as far as my part is concerned. I got to measure it for a drive shaft, so we're going to order a carbon drive shaft for it probably this week. Got to order some new shocks and struts for it and send it on its way. It's going to go get glass put in it. Let's see what else. There's some odds and ends stuff. But anyways, when it comes back, we're going to scale it, set it up, and put it on the dyno. So anyways, got to do a quick welding job on this thing. I'll turn the camera around so you guys can check it out. So you might not be able to see it in the reflection right there. There's a square drawn on there for this little bracket to go for the throttle cable. So we're going to weld that on. So that's going to be what we're going to do right now. We'll weld that on real quick and have a gas pedal so we can kind of clean the tune up a little bit so it'll run and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Alright, I think you can see it. It's lined up pretty good right there. I guess we can go ahead and weld it up now. Get that finished up. I don't know why. Some tasks on this to-do list are just, they drag out or they take forever, or I don't know. I just can't get motivated, I guess. But anyways, enough talking about it. Let's go ahead and weld it up. All right, that's gonna work. It's not the best, but you know, it'll work. It's, well, it's on there. So we'll give that a few minutes to cool down. We'll get the cable hooked up and test everything out. And then we'll move on to the next task that I'm dreading. All right, so we are a couple of weeks fast forward from the last segment of the video. And, well, we're still working on the red car. It is dangerously close to being complete for this part of the project. It's gonna leave, go get glass put in it, get shocks and struts done, and wait on getting the carbon fiber drive shaft completed. So having said that, we're going to redo the charge pipe that goes from the turbo to the upper intake, and I'm gonna turn around and show you that right now. So from here to here was already done at one point. I didn't really care for it, and it was a solid piece, so it clamped at both ends, and that's really not a good idea in pretty much any case, because even with solid mounts or a motor plate or whatever, the motor moves back and forth a little bit, and it's hard on stuff. It's hard to keep sealed and, you know, all that jazz. So we're putting a silicone coupling on it, and it's trapped in a manner where it can't come off. So we're going to fabricate that piece right now out of the pieces that we already had, and hopefully get that done pretty quick. So we already got it put together, and I think you can see there's some tack or some witness marks right there. It's ready to be tacked together. So we're going to do that and then test fit it over there. Nice and ugly. So we got some nice big fat tacks on there that I really didn't want to do, but looks like we had a gap in there that I didn't see. It'll be fine, it's just not gonna look perfect. It's a little less than a welding rod gap in there, but it'll be all right. not really the clamp that belongs on there, but it works for this project right now. So we need to put the straight piece in here and then that'll be it. All right, in the famous words of Jim Carrey, like a glove. So we gotta weld this joint up and this joint up. We already got the temperature bung over here on this side. We gotta put the blow-off valve on it. And then this part will be done. All right, that looks pretty good. Oh, we got a little booger there. It's just a bad start stop. It'll be all right. We'll go in here and weld this one up next. All right, I think we can call that done. Got a little bit lazy on the tack welds there, but everything turned out all right. So we'll let that dude cool down for a minute. We'll get it put on the car, fitted for the last time, and seal it up. Then we'll go on to the next part. All right, guys, that looks like that is it for this one. We got a lot done this time around, even though the video spans the course of a couple of weeks. I'll show you one more time what we got. And you can see charge pipe is on it. We're missing that top hose clamp up there because it's bigger than the ones that I have. Wiring is complete. Everything is done inside of there except for those 3 wires hanging down right here. So those last few wires are for the brake light switch and the line lock, which are not installed in the car yet. So we'll get that handled later on this week and send this thing on its merry way so it gets fitted for glass and stuff like that. Then it comes back for finishing touches and hopefully we go racing soon. So anyways, enough of that mess. That is the end of the video. Thanks everybody for stopping by and checking it out. We'll see you in the next